Title: The Children's Pastor Was Not Human. In the quiet village of Omadara, everyone believed they were safe. It was a peaceful place surrounded by tall palm trees and dusty roads where children played every evening until the sun went down. The villagers were kind people who trusted each other. Nothing strange ever happened there until the new children's pastor arrived. One Sunday morning, a tall man walked into the village church. He wore a neat white shirt and carried a small black Bible. His voice was soft, and when he smiled, the whole church seemed to brighten. He introduced himself as Pastor Daniel. "I have come to teach the children," he said gently. "They are the future of this village." The parents were happy. Finally, someone who cared deeply about their children. Every afternoon, the children gathered in the church for Bible lessons. Pastor Daniel told them beautiful stories, sang songs with them, and even gave them sweets after every lesson. Soon, the children loved him more than anyone else. "Pastor Daniel is the best," they would shout while running home. But not everyone felt comfortable. Mom Ngozi, one of the oldest women in the village, watched him carefully every Sunday. Something about him did not feel right. His eyes. Sometimes they looked too dark. And sometimes when he smiled, it lasted a little too long. One evening, little Chinidu came home shaking. His mother noticed immediately. "Chinidu, what happened?" she asked. The boy hesitated. "Pastor said we should not tell anyone, but today when we were praying, the church became very cold." "Cold?" his mother asked. Chinidu nodded slowly. "And Pastor Daniel's shadow, it moved on the wall, even when he was standing still." His mother laughed nervously. Maybe it was the candlelight. But that night, Chinidu had terrible nightmares. He woke up screaming. The next day, another child fell sick. Then another. Soon, many of the children who attended Pastor Daniel's lessons began having strange dreams. The village started whispering. Mama Ngozi decided to find the truth. One evening, she quietly followed Pastor Daniel after the children's lesson ended. Instead of going to the pastor's house, he walked deep into the forest behind the church. Mama Ngozi hid behind the trees and watched. Pastor Daniel stopped in a small clearing. Then something terrifying happened. He slowly removed his shoes, and his feet were not human. They were twisted like the legs of a goat. Mama Ngozi covered her mouth to stop herself from screaming. Pastor Daniel raised his hands to the sky and began speaking in a strange language. The wind started blowing violently, and then his voice changed. It became deep and human. "I have almost gathered enough of their souls," he said. Mama Ngozi's heart nearly stopped. The children. That was why they were getting sick. The next morning, she ran to the village chief and told him everything. At first, the villagers did not believe her. "How can a pastor be a spirit?" they asked. But the chief was wise. That night, he gathered the strongest men in the village. They went to the forest and hid near the clearing. Soon, Pastor Daniel arrived again. But this time, the villagers were ready. When he began his strange ritual, they jumped out with lanterns and surrounded him. "Who are you?" the chief shouted. Pastor Daniel slowly turned, and the smile on his face disappeared. His body began to change. His eyes turned completely black. His legs twisted like an animal's. The villagers stepped back in horror. "I came for the children," the creature growled. "But you humans are always interfering." The chief lifted a sacred staff given by the village elders. "In this village, we protect our children." The men began praying loudly. The creature screamed as the prayers filled the air. Its body started shaking violently. Then suddenly, it burst into a cloud of dark smoke and vanished into the night. After that day, the children slowly recovered. Peace returned to Omadara.